The worst part about a disaster is that you'll never know when it'll strike. We wanted to make sure that you are prepared if the worst should come. So here are the top pocket tools to ensure your survival. Stay safe, y'all.
Hello, I'm the host of Dynamite TV, and I'm here to bring you an explosion of information.
Thanks Pankanja Raghevendra, and welcome to Board Badger, where you'll always find something to help pass the time. Be sure to let us know which video is your favorite.
Number 26, the Pocket Disaster and First Aid Guides. Learning as much as you can about being prepared and surviving outdoors is crucial to you getting out of whatever mess alive.
If you didn't bother or didn't have time to research or learn on your own before the apocalypse happened, you can always find a lot of useful information in pocket form, just like the 2 pocket edition books you see pictured here. Both can be found on Amazon, and both can help give you the knowledge you so desperately need.
Number 25, Shovel and Pick Set. This small shovel isn't exactly pocket-sized, but it is small enough to fit inside the pouch shown next to it, and that pouch is so small that it could easily be carried on a belt loop, making it super portable. As you can imagine, you can use a shovel for a bunch of different reasons, making it an awesome tool to ensure your survival in the wilderness. Number 24, a pocket solar lantern. Having a light source so that you can see is vital too.
It's hard enough trying to walk through your house at night in the dark. Just imagine trying to stumble through some unknown territory, like a forest.
Like all but one item in this video, which we'll shout out specifically, you can find the collapsible solar lantern pictured here on Amazon.com. Number 23, the Pocket Chainsaw. This is another one of those pocket-sized tools that isn't necessarily vital, but it sure can be useful. Whether you're trying to make a better shelter or you're just trying to get some firewood, this pocket chainsaw will help get the job done. Number 22, a fisherman's tool card. Finding food out in the middle of nowhere can be difficult, especially if you've spent your whole life just making trips to the grocery store when you get hungry. One of the easiest and most reliable ways to feed yourself is to fish. If you had this credit card sized fishing tool set, fishing would be made a whole lot easier. Number 21, a Penn fishing rod. This is a tiny survival item that fits in perfectly with the tool we just showed you. If you combine the fishing lures and hooks from the card with this tiny fishing rod, you'd soon be fishing like a pro, with gear that fits inside your pocket. Number 20, a Leatherman Sidekick Multitool. Having a multi-tool to use in life before a disaster is a gift. Just because of its many uses, it makes all tasks and projects so much simpler. However, having a multi-tool like this one after disaster strikes may just be the key to your survival. Number 19, an emergency blanket.
You might be surprised to find out that you will die from the cold long before you die from lack of food or water.
Most people think that water's the first thing to find when you find yourself out on your own. But if you freeze in the middle of the night, you won't be alive to search for water in the morning. Hence the importance of having a blanket. Thermal ones work best, but this pocket-sized version will do in a pinch. Number 18, the Paracord Grenade. When looking for the paracord aspect of your bug-out bag, make sure you find one with a decent amount of paracord. There are fancier ones with compasses and such added onto the keychain or bracelet, but again, you want one with more than a few feet of paracord. The reason being is that the paracord is meant to be unraveled and used as a rope. Since you might need rope to capture food, make a shelter, or to hoist your belongings above the ground far away from animals, paracord comes in handy, so make sure you have enough. Number 17, the Survival Tool Card. This is another credit card sized tool set, just like the fishing hook and the lure one we saw a bit ago. This one also has a few fishing hooks, but it also has other tools that could help in case of a disaster. It's super small and thin, and it weighs next to nothing and can do so much. This is a definite tool to have. Number 16, tiny tubes of superglue. You might think of superglue as a crafter's tool, but honestly, it could really help you out if you were fighting for your life. The tiny tubes are easy to carry around, and glue can be used to do so much. You can make a waterproof seal for a broken cup or bucket you found so you can carry water. You can use it to help make a long-term shelter. You can even use it to seal wounds in an emergency. The possibilities are almost endless, and since they're only a few bucks a pop, they're totally worth it. Number 15, a multifunctioning carabiner. A carabiner is a metal loop that connects two things together. The one you see here is a multifunctioning one that also has a few worthwhile tools. There are a ton of uses for a carabiner as well as everything else on this list. From assisting with a shelter build or simply attaching a bag onto your backpack for easier transportation, having a carabiner is like having an extra hand. Number 14, the head net. This is one of the few items that you might think you can just do without. However, if you stop to think of just how many people die on a daily basis due to disease carried and transmitted by mosquitoes, you might reconsider adding this to your survival grab bag. It's super small and portable, and it's sure to keep those pesky bugs away. Number 13, An ultralight camping hammock. Here's another item that you might think is a luxury. Having a hammock could be a very important thing. It isn't quite pocket-sized, but, like the shovel set, is small enough to clip to a loop of the pants you're wearing. The reason having a hammock could be crucial is if the place you find yourself happens to have a lot of rain. It is true that a hammock will not keep you dry, at least not this one, but it will keep you up off the soaking wet ground.
Number 12, the pocket-sized can opener. Since we've been used to using such large can openers for the past few decades, it can be rather surprising to learn that a can opener comes in a size so small. Thankfully for us, it does, which means that any canned goods we come across are now ours for the taking.
Number 11, the Compass Multitool. Having a compass to know which direction you're going is really important. Having a compass that also does other things, like the one pictured here, could be vital to your survival. This compass not only tells you which direction you're heading in, but it also comes complete with a fire starter, a whistle, and a magnifying glass. Number 10, a Pocket Monocular. If you don't know anything about your surroundings, you could find yourself in a lot of trouble. However, there are tools that help us see further, and they're called binoculars. While you can find super small versions of them, we wanted to find something as pocket-friendly as possible, so we opted for the monocular you see here. The difference between the two is that this one is made smaller by allowing the viewer to see just out of one eye, instead of two, obviously. Number 9, Weatherproof Matches.
Remember when we were talking about how important it is to stay warm while outside? This is another survival tool to make sure you stay cozy while you're trying to survive.
These matches are weatherproof, meaning they are supposed to light your fire even if it is raining out, which in a survival situation, that can make the difference between you surviving the night and not. Number 8, a pocket stove. This is another handy pocket tool that will help feed yourself after ish hits the fan. It comes with a few fuel tablets, but you can use your matches to light your fire after they're gone. The metal stove part allows you to cook food without having to put it in actual fire. This isn't something that you have to have, but it'll certainly help your life go a little smoother. Number 7, a hatchet and hammer tool set. We added another multi-tool, but this one is special because of 2 of the tools included. As you can see from this picture, this multi-tool has a hatchet and a hammer. As you can imagine, you can use either one of those tools for a multitude of different things, and clearly, either one can be extremely useful.
Number 6, emergency food bars. We've already had the discussion about importance of food in dire situations. Unfortunately, in terms of surviving, you'll most likely never know when the next meal will come.
Since you might not be able to find some edible berries or a rabbit to kill, you might just need some substance to get through the day. Having a high-calorie food bar in your pocket is enough to keep hunger at bay, at least for a little while.
Number 5, a wallet knife. While there are certainly better knives out there and many are pocket-sized, we like this one because it's so tiny. As you can see, it fits in a credit card shape and comes with a few other gadgets as well. It probably wouldn't scare away an intruder, but it would help you skin a rabbit or another small animal you find for food. Number 4, a hand crank flashlight. We have touched on light sources and their importance already, but having a hand crankable version is extremely important. If you have a flashlight that uses batteries, it has a limit to how much light it's going to give you because batteries don't last forever. You can certainly buy some rechargeable batteries, but unless you have a solar-powered battery charging port, these won't last forever either. By having a flashlight that uses a crank method, you can rest assured that you will have a light source that won't just give up on you when it's run out of juice. Just crank for light. Number 3, a grappling hook. This is the one item in the entire video that we found somewhere else. While we found a plethora of small grappling hooks on Amazon, we like this one we found on AliExpress.com even better. All the other grappling hooks we found were just that, a grappling hook. The one in this picture is both a grappling hook as well as a waterproof container. The container is really small, about the size of a pill bottle, but if you had something you wanted to keep safe, this would be the place to keep it. On top of having a waterproof container, you also have a grappling hook which can help you set up camp, escape from danger, or if you're creative enough, it could even help you catch your next meal.
Number 2, the pocket crank radio. One of the worst things about a disaster is that you never really know what's going on.
Not only are these things chaotic, but the usual sources you would go to for news, like your beloved internet and TV, are most likely going to be things of the past, since there won't be anyone around to keep those things up and running. Since it is vital to your survival to know what's going on, it would behoove you to look at one of your best options. Since it uses the crank method as well, you don't have to worry about batteries. And the fact that it's a radio might just get you the potentially life-saving information that you need.
Number 1, a LifeStraw. We know by now that it is important to have a source of heat so you don't freeze to death. As one would expect, having clean drinking water is a must also.
The LifeStraw is the answer to your prayers when it comes to that regard. All you need is the simple straw pictured here.
You stick it into a water source and sip as if you were drinking from a straw. It's the best thing to stay hydrated in case of an emergency.
Thanks for tuning in. I'll see all you beautiful people in the next one.
For better.